sorry, getting there. Christina's behind my screen. Katie, you look amazing in Washington, D.C. Thank you for joining us. Katie was actually is an amazing lobbyist for a lot of cancer causes, and we are grateful for people such as yourself. So Ryan, take it away. I believe probably a transition now to the Merlot.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so let me empty my glass. Okay, Merlot. So by the way, the wine that you just had, the Chardonnay, that was made from 3 different vineyards. So as a family, we own and lease 120 acres in the Napa Valley. Carly and I are very blessed as the scions of a father who had the foresight to get in when you could still get in. Basically in Napa Valley, the land values practically double every decade. So every 10 years, they go way up in price. And it's not unheard of to have an acre of grapevine sell in the Napa Valley for $300,000 to $500,000 per acre. So it's a very, very expensive endeavor. Napa Valley is only 30 miles long and 5 miles wide at the widest point. So there's not a lot of it going around. You know, directly in front of me, the eastern mountain range, that's called the Vaca Range. And then behind me, the western range is the Mayakama mountain range. We get all these coastal wind channels that blow into the valley. So we can have a triple digit day as we did this week. And then it drops down to 60 degrees in the early mornings. And so that temperature swing of 40 degrees, we call that a diurnal shift, the difference between daytime and nighttime temperature. That's what makes Napa, Napa, because you go 20 minutes east of here and it's still 75, 80 degrees in the morning because they don't have that cooling trend that comes through, and you're going to have raisins before you have really high quality wine grapes. So with Merlot used to be king. Everyone's probably heard or seen the movie Sideways. Sideways absolutely decimated the Merlot market. For all of you viewers out there, if you are looking for the highest quality per price ratio in the Napa Valley, it's in your glass right now, Merlot. It drinks like a Cabernet when it's done well. And because of the movie Sideways and all the implications that film had, winemakers are delighted when they check their sales report in the morning and see that somebody ordered Merlot from their winery. Or if somebody comes up to the winery and says, hey, do you guys make Merlot? It's like, you know, a savior is visiting. So this is one of the first sites that Dad discovered. The year was 1981. It's a 20-acre site. And when Dad first found it, it was covered in walnut trees. And this specific site is located on the valley floor. On the valley floor, you generally get more vigorous grapevines. There's not as much rock and shale that leads to good drainage. And the vines usually want to take off. And so as a result, the clusters are going to be bigger. And you usually have less aroma, less tannin, and less color because the water that gets inside of the berry's more plump and the wine becomes a bit more diluted. However, what Dad found when he first stuck his shovel in the soil and he put the soil into his hands and watched it run through his fingers was a lot of rock, and that usually is a sign of good drainage. So it turns out about 75 years before he discovered this vineyard,